to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I don't know how many of you out there have this year's Saudi Pro circled on your calendar, but if you don't, now might be the time to save the date, because it looks like Ahmad Ashkanani is about to put on a primetime performance. Last weekend, Ahmad's camp released this update of him 8 weeks out from the start of his 2022 season, and I think it's safe to say that he'll be ready to hit the ground running. His win at the Prague Pro last November felt like a big deal at the time, and it feels like even more of a big deal now considering the kind of shape he's in. And if he can make it 2 in a row, the other top guys in the division better watch out, because they don't want to see him with a full head of steam running in their direction. Back in the day, Ronnie Coleman was famous for taking weeks and weeks off after the Olympia to give his body a chance to recover. So, if you're Roelly Winklaar and you're coming off a much-needed 7-week stretch where you basically didn't train at all, well, at least you got a pretty good blueprint to follow. A few days ago, Roelly Winklaar posted on Instagram that he was finally ready to start training again after taking almost 2 full months off to get his act together. I don't think we need to rehash what 2021 was like for Roelly on stage, because there's been enough written and said about that already. But I will say this guy is a potential future Hall of Famer, which means that he knows how to push the go button when it's time. And if his body can flip the switch, we all know what he's capable of. Speaking of people on their way back from a break, it looks like a little bit of rest was just what the doctor ordered for Ivana Ivusic. A few days ago, the 5-time figure Olympian posted a few clips from her first time back in the gym. And if you didn't know that she took the time off, you'd swear she was in mid-season form already. If you followed Ivana's career, you know that the scariest thing about this is that she tends to pick up steam as the season goes along. So if she hits it hard out of the gate, there's a good chance she ends up doing all sorts of damage before we even hit the halfway point in the schedule. And before we sign off today, we wanted to bring you this brand new update from former 212 Olympian Mahmoud Al Durrah, who looks like he's starting to work himself back into mid-season shape all of a sudden. For those of you who don't know, Durrah announced that he was retiring from bodybuilding at the end of 2019 after suffering a serious back injury that forced him to undergo surgery. But as you can see from these photos, he's looking pretty damn swole for someone who allegedly hung up his posing trunks for good. Now, just to be clear, Durrah has not gone on the record to say that he was planning to get back on stage again at any point this season. But this does feel like one of those, well, where there's smoke, there's fire situations. And even if he can't come back and pick up where he left off, the sheer fact that he'd even attempt it would be a huge, huge accomplishment. So if Durrah can manage to stay healthy, who knows? Maybe we'll actually see another Durrah sighting at some point before the end of the season. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.